podcast, otherwise known as a sprinkle of salt. This sprinkle of salt is previewing tonight's game between my new Knicks-Pacers and the Indiana Pacers, with the Pacers up 3-1 in the best-of-7 series, with the Knicks clinging on for dear life with a home game at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. This is the first time I'm actually previewing a game. Usually I give a little recap, but for two things. One, I just wanted to let people know that I ain't ducking smoke. Okay, my prediction, Knicks in 6, has proven to be ill thought out, but could be Knicks in 7. That's number one. Number two, I was asked today from an individual that lives outside the city that is pulling for the Knicks how the vibe is in going into this game. You know, is the city tight? Is the city hyped? Listen, to be blunt, I've kind of kept away from sports talk, sports YouTube, sports wedding loss. It was tantalizingly close, but yet time you never really felt that we were going to win. We gave up 130 points for the second time, but this time we gave up 130 points in regulation. Our defense was atrocious. We had a poor game by Josh Hart, and we just never was really in sync. Mikal Bridges had a subpar game, both offensively and defensively, and once again, OG actually had a hot hand, but he was not utilized to the utmost because I think he only had nine shot attempts. He was like 6 of 9. And the whole point of us having this team that we built over the last season and a half was to have multiple options on offense and to, dare I say, defensive stoppers. But the frustrating part for me over the last 2 days, not only the fact that we're down 3-1. Because that was always a possibility. Never thought, but it was a possibility. It's all the talk in hindsight about not only the construction of the team with Karl-Anthony Towns, who is listed as questionable for tonight's game. I'm quite sure he's going to give it a go. But he did bang knees with Neesmith at the end of game 4, hobbling around, and that was a subject of jokes, where normally you would get your jokes from, Gil's Arena and so forth. And trust and believe, I've been hard on Anthony Towns, Karl-Anthony Towns. I've been hard on him the majority of the season because he just hasn't shown that prerequisite toughness that I believe that the New York Knicks had from last year and that this franchise is synonymous with. He gutted it out. He did the damn thing. He put us on his back in game 3. He got us out 1 victory, and he should be commended for that. He's averaging 24.5, 12.5 rebounds, so forth. Okay. But this series is not about numbers because Jalen Brunson is averaging close to 30. But yet, a lot of scuttlebutt that's happened over the last couple of days. Matter of fact, a lot of scuttlebutt that has happened throughout this series is now it's like everybody wants to throw dirt on Jalen Brunson's name, and I don't believe that's fair. For two reasons. One, without Jalen Brunson, we would not be where we are at this season and where we've come to in the last 3 seasons combined. Is he a ball-dominant guard? Yes, he is. Can at times he become a little bit ball dominant and does not get the team involved? Perhaps. Probably. But that doesn't lay on his feet because we acquired him knowing what he is. We acquired him for his pluses and his minuses. Has he been an all-NBA defender? No, he has not. As this person acts like they don't know how to fucking drive. He's never been that. Take the beef jerky out your mouth, ma'am, and drive the fucking car. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, that's right. Get into the wrong lane. Come on. Hurry up. Anyway. Hey Christian, how you doing? So, all the former players, Nick Young, Swaggy P, Brandon Jennings, who was a New York Knick for one season. I don't even believe he finished that same season. Underachieving ass. Has the nerve to be making fun of somebody being zesty, but nevertheless, Mr. Brandon Jennings with the little HBK earring from his ear. Mr. Bosom Buddies with Maul from the Rory and Maul podcast. Yeah. I see the look in those eyes. Those eyes have envy, those eyes have hate, and those eyes have zest. But neither here nor there. The things that are being spoken about with Jalen Brunson that act like the Knicks wouldn't be where they are without Jalen Brunson. Can he be more efficient? Yes. But that goes on the coach. And I don't believe Tibbs should be fired either. Now, don't get me wrong. If they lose in 5, there's going to be questions, but as Mad Dog Russo said on First Take yesterday morning, you cannot fire Tom Thibodeau, someone who's brought us from an afterthought to the precipice of the NBA Finals, and replace him with somebody who, yes, has an NBA championship, but just got fired from his team 3 games before the playoffs. On top of, when you do a move like that, especially the way this team is constructed, you're pretty much saying you're doing not a total rebuild, but you're rebuilding the coaching side. You have to get new assistants. You have to get in sync with the front office. Everything is in place. You have Leon Rose. You have Worldwide Russ. You have Tom Thibodeau. You have Rick Brunson. You have the whole 9. All that is in place. You have players who have bought into Thibodeau's way of coaching. You really think that Jalen Brunson is going to be gung-ho for y'all to get rid of Thibodeau? Do you really think you're going to get as much as you can get out of Josh Hart if you get rid of Thibodeau? Thibodeau, yes, he does overachieve with lesser parts. But at the same time, you have to realize you have to give him the opportunity to finish the job. This wasn't a step back. It wasn't like we got swept in Boston and we took a step back from last season. Every season that we've had Jalen Brunson, we've taken incremental steps forward. First 50-game win season last year, got to the second round, game 7. This year, 51-win game season, currently in the Eastern Conference Finals. You have to give him a chance. You hamstrung him with the roster that you've given him because you haven't gotten a bench. Not to say that he's going to use the bench, but you haven't given him a bench and you haven't given him defensive options that he can use and mix and match. When somebody's about to make $61 million a year, it takes a lot of cojones to keep his ass on the bench. in the fourth quarter. And guess what? That's what he did. Yes. Did we want better results in game 2? Of course we did. But it took a lot of balls for him to say, you know what? Towns isn't getting the job done. Defensively, his ass got to be on the bench until we have to. He's not. He keeps on picking up stupid ass fouls. His ass got to be on the bench. What coaches out here right now will do that to their superstar player? Not many. And like I said, I understand sports media. It's always about the hot take. It's always about the first take. It's always about first things first. Thanks for the subscription. Appreciate you. I'm the little engine that can. Listen, I'm independent, and to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna waste time speaking about myself because that's not what anybody is tuning in for. But like you said, a lot of coaches aren't going to put the team first. People are saying, well, you should have took Josh Hart out the game. Okay, you could take Josh Hart out the game. Yes, he did some boneheaded moves, but at the same time, he's on the bench for a reason. And that was to lessen the load on Brunson, lessen the load on the starting five, and to anchor that second unit. So yeah, okay, he fucked up. And nowadays, a lot of people don't own up to the fact that he fucked up and say, yo, my bad. Okay. The bottom line is, and I'm about to end the live. The bottom line is like this. First and foremost, we were not expected to get to the finals. Everybody knew this wasn't a championship team, championship caliber, but this wasn't a championship ready team this year. This was a team where you supplemented a couple parts from the nucleus, and you was going to need at least a season of jail. And this is not revisionist history. This is not looking at hindsight. This is straight facts. Another fact: the Pacers are a bad matchup for us. I said it. The Pacers are a bad matchup for us because of how deep they are and the pace of the game. And if anything, I can say that our mistake was not trying to dictate our pace and trying to beat them at their game. That was the biggest mistake so far in this series. The one game in which we successfully mucked it up was the one game we won. Because we wasn't trying to match score for score. We was like, you know what? We need to get them out there flow. We need to get them out there rhythm. We need to get them out there offense. And then we could try to steal this at the end. All this talk about, well, you know, the window is steadily closing. Listen. Y'all the same motherfuckers that thought we were going to the championship after we beat Boston. Or y'all the same motherfuckers that were saying, well, the only reason we beat Boston was because Jason Tatum got hurt. Motherfuckers call me a deadbeat in the comments. I don't got no kids I don't know about. Anyway. But yeah. I guess since I'm on here and it took time to get on here, I might as well give a prediction, right? So, my prediction, Knicks are going to win tonight. We're going to show that pride that Boston showed and not get eliminated at home, not to get the gentleman's sweep. And take it from there. Take it one game at a time. You know, 13 teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit. from a 1-3 deficit. Most infamously, the LeBron James-led Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals. And guess what? As much as I hate to say it, they played one game at a time. They took it one game at a time. And every game was their game 7, because literally every game was an elimination game. We, at the very least, we cannot have the Indiana Pacers. We cannot have that cocksucker Tyrese Halliburton celebrating on the garden floor. Debuting his shirt overrated? Last thing, and I've said this before and I'll keep on reiterating it. I don't respect people who poke their chest out when the odds are in their favor, like the Hunger Games. May the odds be forever in your favor. Don't come out with a shirt saying overrated when you won game from the finals. Should have did that at the beginning of the Eastern Conference Finals. Should have did that at the when you was voted overrated, most overrated. That's when you should have put that shirt out. Don't do that shit now. Or how about this? You know what? I'm going to refrain from what I was going to say. So, Knicks are going to win game 5. We go back to Indiana. 3-2. Always been a good road team. And we see what happens. We cannot have this series end in 6 days. No, in 8 days. That's one thing we can't have. Make them go back on a flight. Or, fuck it, get back on the flight. No, 1, 2, 3, Cancun! No, we can't do that. We can't do that. So, yeah, so that's about it. So I'll probably holler at y'all later. Probably not tonight. I ain't going live tonight. Win, lose, or draw. I ain't going live tonight. That's why I figured I'd do this so y'all can get the natural look. The ravishing, dashing face with the natural light. And not the light of my car. My dull lights in my car. Anyway, I'm babbling, so it's time for me to get out of here. So, until later on this week. Goodbye.